guys, it's Mickie. Did you miss me? Yes, I barely post anymore. Anyway, I wanted to make this video for a while, talking about tarot because it's something that's changed my life. I've been reading my own tarot cards for about 2 years now, and like I said, it's changed my life. It's a confidence booster, it's great for self-reflection, and if you don't know what tarot is, you're in the right place because I'm going to teach you. Because I'm such a good friend, and I like to share my wisdom with people, so let's get started. Title card. So to put it simply, tarot is a deck of cards that each have their own imagery and meaning based on archetypes and themes we encounter in life. For example, you have the Empress, which represents abundance and the divine feminine, the Sun, which represents positivity, success, and joy, and the Moon, which represents mystery, intuition, and uncertainty. So when you shuffle the cards in a tarot reading, the cards are meant to convey a message, whether it's to answer a question that you ask or just to offer wisdom. It depends on your intentions. Tarot is such an amazing tool for self-discovery and introspection. It taught me so much about my past by me asking questions about why certain things happen or what I was meant to learn from that. It also taught me about my unconscious habits. You know, when I do tarot readings, a lot of times I ask like, what am I meant to be learning or what am I not seeing in a situation? And a lot of times it helps me see the positive in a situation, or it can help me figure out like how I can do something better or how I can take a different approach to something that I'm working on or trying to manifest or just like working through. Before I move on, I just want to make a quick disclaimer because I know a lot of people associate tarot and like types of divination like astrology and palm readings and stuff like that. A lot of times they're going to be associated with like something dark or like demonic, and the reason why it sucks that it has this negative connotation or association is because it's honestly such a useful and positive tool. Like all it's ever done for me is help me be more confident, help me learn about myself, help me have a deeper understanding of things that happen in my life. But certain institutions that I grew up with made me like fear things like this and make it think that it was like associated with demons or something. Okay. There is a card in the tarot. There's a card called the Devil. And the first time I saw it, it was kind of a jump scare. But then after I learned the meaning of the Devil card, which is about addiction, it's about obsessions that you can have with something that that are unhealthy, seduction or temptation. When I learned the meaning of that card, I'm like, okay, I understand, because that's what in religions a devil is. A devil is like temptation, a devil is like negativity, and that's what the card represents. So it's a representation of that idea, just like everything else in the tarot represents a part of life. The devil is not in the card, so please do not be scared of certain cards' meanings because they're all based off of things that we encounter in our lives. All types of things that we encounter in our lives. So I just wanted to put that in there. So the standard tarot deck has 78 cards, which include major arcana cards, which carry major life themes, and minor arcana, which are about everyday situations and smaller lessons. There are 4 suits in the minor arcana: wands, cups, swords, and pentacles. Sometimes they have different names, but they're all based on the same formula or elements from the original deck, which is the Rider-Waite deck. Wands, associated with the element of fire, represent passion, creativity, and motivation. Cups, associated with water, represent emotions, relationships, and intuition. Swords, associated with air, represent thoughts, communication, and logical action. Pentacles, or coins, associated with earth, represent material things, career, finances, and stability. Another way that you can think about the suits are that cups are the heart, swords are mental, pentacles are worldly and material, and wands are divine inspiration. Each minor arcana suit contains 14 cards, starting from ace and ending with the king. So I use the Light Seers Tarot deck, but there are hundreds, thousands of tarot decks that you can choose from. I connected with this deck because I really like the illustrations. They're modern, they're diverse, and it just called me. So when you're doing your reading and interpreting the cards, I think it's important to use both your intuition and the meaning of the cards. Because a card can have a different meaning in a different reading, that's when your intuition comes to play. I don't have every meaning of every card memorized, so I usually stare at the cards and make notes of what comes up for me before I open the guidebook for a more advanced answer. Sometimes the images are more important than the literal meaning of the cards. If your spread has a color scheme going on, or you notice the cards together paint a bigger picture, pay attention to that. And you know, there's probably people watching this thinking that I'm giving like misinformation, because it's just such a versatile thing. So people do their own readings in different ways. For example, some people use spreads. A spread is when the placement of the card affects the meaning of the card. For example, a super simple spread can be past, present, future. They can also get a lot more complex. When I first started learning tarot, I used to do spreads a lot because I think they're fun, but now I'm actually a pretty simple lady. Like, my readings usually start with me asking a question, and then once I shuffle the cards, the first card or the first few cards that come out are my answer. And what I find so fascinating about the cards is that, like, the cards that come out, they're literally like the most on theme cards for whatever I'm going through or asking. So it's, to me, it feels like a very phenomenal experience. Obviously there's like confirmation bias, and I always try to approach my readings with the most neutral state of mind that I can, but it's so magical. I love tarot so much, and it's so healing for me, because every time, or almost every time I have a reading, I come out of that session feeling inspired or at ease about a problem that I'm having. Like, it actually makes me like separate myself from the problem and like just see the bigger picture. And if that's not the case, if I do a reading and I end up being like confused, or I don't feel like I got an answer, that's okay too. I mean, I think that it's not a perfect practice, and the less pressure that I put for a reading to give me the answers that I need, the actually more serendipity I get when I do a reading, because I don't put it on such a pedestal. I actually approach I start to approach every reading with like, well, I'm not really expecting anything, but I just want to see. And those are the readings where I actually come out with the most information and the most like surprises and the most wisdom, actually. Sometimes I won't even have a question. I just want to do a reading because I'm in the mood to, because I'm feeling spiritual and I want to connect. You know, those days I'll start a reading with like, Spirit, what message do you have for me today? And when I say spirit, I'm referring to God, I'm referring to source. I just like to say spirit in my readings because it feels the most fitting. But you don't have to like say anything like that. You can just like read your cards. But I like to connect with God, so I say, Spirit, what do you want me to know? God, the divine, the damn it, I'm joking, it's that devil card. So here's an example of questions that you can ask in a reading, and I'm gonna use my phone. If you are reflecting on something that happened in the past, what lesson was I meant to learn? I love that one. If you're overwhelmed by a situation, what am I meant to focus on? Or what am I not seeing in the situation? Which, actually, let me give you a disclaimer, because when you ask Spirit or the cards, what am I not seeing in the situation? Sometimes the response is kind of like it doesn't make sense at all. And when that happens to me, like when I get like this bunch of cards that don't make sense and I feel like I don't know if I'm meant to interpret this, I take that as I'm not meant to know yet. You can ask, what am I not seeing that I should be seeing? But yeah, like I said, don't put too much pressure on the readings to be perfect. If you are manifesting something and you need to get advice on getting to your goal, you can say, what can I do to improve my situation? Or what can I do to level up? And that's another one of my favorite questions, because it always makes me think about how I'm not approaching a specific mission or goal that I'm working on. And usually when I follow the advice, I notice everything starting to work out for me, and it's just so cool. If you want some self-discovery, you can ask, what do other people see in me that I don't see in myself? So I do tarot readings with my friends. Sometimes it's just for fun. Sometimes, you know, they're going through something and I'll be like, ooh, I'm gonna read your cards. And the readings that we'll get are so accurate. It's actually like, we sit there and we just go, what the hell? Like, oh, I'm being called out, like the universe is calling me out. And so yeah, that's always fun. So if you ever come to my place, you probably get a free reading from me. I'm not psychic or anything like that, but I just interpret the cards in the way that makes the most sense. And usually when I read for other people, it's not that hard to interpret because they're so on the nose. So yeah, here's an example of a reading that I've done recently. So I'm a freelancer, so there are periods where work gets slow and I find myself unemployed with way too much time in my hands, and during those times I can feel very limited, especially like I feel guilty about spending money, and I also feel like I need to spend all my time being super productive and like trying to figure out, like trying to get jobs or trying to create and blah 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 blah. I also struggle in those times to balance my passions, like the projects I really want to be working on, with my responsibilities, which is like getting that bread. So I asked the question, what should I be focusing on? And the card that I got was the Four of Swords, which talks about self-care, burnout, and resting. And I get this card so much that immediately I just like rejected it. I was like, no way, like there's no way I'm supposed to be like rejuvenating right now when I just spent like 3 days last weekend just chilling, watching TV, not doing nothing. Like there's absolutely no way that I'm supposed to be resting right now. Like this is wrong. And then I pulled a second card, which was the Three of Wands, and that card also talks about like, all right, you put in the effort, let the universe take care of it, like be expectant, like you can wait for I think in this deck the specific message was, you put in the work, have pride in your progress, and you can now wait for the results of your effort. So those cards together, I was like, okay, I'm getting it now in multiple cards, just like kind of like have the same theme. So I was like, okay, so that day actually I went to a mountain and I was like working on my own passions, which is my YouTube channel, and I was like writing notes for things that I want to do on my YouTube channel and just not really thinking about like income and like income-based work at all. And then I went for a walk and I was doing basically the advice that like I got in the cards, which was to just like sit back and wait, sit back and wait. When I got back home, no, when I was on my way home, I got a job offer to work on a shoot, and then later that day I got a second gig offer to work. So mind you, those opportunities were coming to me already, and I didn't have to spend my day sitting at my computer like applying for jobs, because those opportunities were already coming based off of my previous efforts, like based off of my previous work and people that know me and whatever. So yeah, that was just so like that was just so amazing and magical. And that's just an example of how the cards can give you such good advice. And also the advice being like, you shouldn't just live your life in constant pursuit and constant like striving. You need to be able to sit back and enjoy your life, no matter how much you think that you're lacking in your life, or no matter how much you think that oh, maybe that you don't deserve to be resting because you got to put bread on the table, you got things that you got to do. Don't discredit your efforts, because something that you did yesterday or last week can have a payoff this week, and just because you don't have your results in the moment does not mean that they're not coming. Wisdom! So in conclusion, first of all, I hope that this video made you interested in tarot, or at least like be able to walk away understanding it more. Everybody has their own different belief systems. I believe that when I use tarot, it's a tool for me to connect with the divine. I'm not one to push my beliefs on people. I think that tarot is just another way to receive that inner wisdom that's already in you, that sometimes is buried in all the noise. And tarot is just a way to tune out that noise. Well, anyway, thank you guys for watching my channel. My name is Mickie, and I have a whole playlist where I talk about wellness and spirituality. I haven't posted to it in a while, so this is going to be the first one that I posted in a while. But check that out, I'll put it in the description. And if this video, if you're still watching, give us a like and subscribe, and there will be more content to come.